After the Super Bowl, the first thing I read on Twitter is how the NFL is scripted. Now, I've seen a lot of sentiment like that. Could just be salty fans who lost. Could be fans who hate KC. It could be fans, I guess, who actually believe the NFL can be scripted. But I don't know, man. Come on. Like, to get that many players and stuff to buy in. If you were going to script something, why would you have Kansas City? Like, no disrespect to the people of Kansas City, but why would you have Kansas City be the dynasty? Like, the dynasty would be the Cowboys. It would be someone in LA. It'd be one of the New York teams. It'd be Chicago. It'd be a huge market to just pull in those ratings. Now, if you want to say certain referee calls can influence a game, absolutely. I won't argue with you there. But whether or not there's agenda or not there, I don't know. Refereeing and umpiring is part of the human element of sports. It's what makes sports awesome, that there's other elements other than just the players. And it's not just the NFL. It's all sports. Any game, there's someone complaining about the officiating. It just is. It's something for people to complain about. You know, I actually thought the Super Bowl was called pretty well. Yeah, there's probably a couple missed calls here and there, but there were no egregious penalties that feel like they always favor the Chiefs. Like, there was no weak roughing the passers. I don't think there was any roughing the passers at all in this game. And normally when Patrick Mahomes just gets touched, they throw that flag. And there's no defensive pass interference. You know, I'd say the game was pretty fairly reffed. And if you're a San Francisco fan, that's all you can ask for, especially going up against Mahomes. San Francisco's defense played great. They were in the backfield causing problems for Mahomes all game. But KC has cemented itself as the new dynasty. They're the new Brady and the Patriots. They got the Hall of Fame coach, quarterback, and tight end. They spend their money on the defense, and they go cheap at wide receiver and running back. You could make an argument that Butker has passed Justin Tucker. He was 7 for 7 from 50 this year, plus setting a record in the Super Bowl. That is a weapon in today's NFL. And KC was coming in hot, knocking off the number 1 and 2 seeds on the road. This was tough sledding for San Fran to win this game, and for them to win this game, they had to play a perfect game. But they came up short. McCaffrey had a fumble. The missed extra point really looms large in this game. And then the biggest head scratcher is arguably the overtime coin toss. I believe this is the first time we got to see the new overtime rule in effect in the playoffs. And San Fran elects to get the ball first. And San Fran's players said after the game they weren't aware there was a rule change. They said there was no strategy discussed or anything like that. But then Kyle Shanahan said there was a strategy and that he wanted the ball first so that there was enough time for them to potentially get it a third time. And I can see, the logic in that a little bit, but man, that's not the right call. You want to be able to see what the other team does to know what you have to match. If the other team goes down there and scores a field goal or a touchdown, it's 4 down territory for you. You have an advantage knowing what you need to do. If your defense goes out there and shuts them down on their first drive, then you only need to get a field goal. Going second seems like such an advantage. And San Fran blew that. And Shanahan has to own that because his record now in the playoffs in the big spots isn't very good. So again, they played a great game, but they needed to be perfect. And those few mistakes is what cost them the ring. And just a couple thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show. Usher's a great artist, and he performed really well. Just his catalog of music just doesn't really fit a Super Bowl halftime show to get amped up. His music's better for when you're chilling at the crib with a lady. And to be honest, there's been quite a long string of Super Bowl halftime shows that haven't fired me up. The Dr. Dre one in 2022 was sweet. Loved that one. That one had a lot of excitement. But when was the last rock show? If you consider Coldplay rock, that's 9 years ago. And if you want to know who I consider rock, it's another 14 years for when The Who played in 2010. And leading up to that Who date, we had some great shows. We had Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, Prince, the Rolling Stones, Paul McCartney. We had P. Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Jessica Simpson all in a show. Shania Twain and No Doubt, U2, Aerosmith, and NSYNC. We had quite a long list of great shows. You tell me. I think they got to vary it up here a little bit with the rock because it's been very R&B heavy the last few times, and I think they need some rock. you know, people say rock and roll is dead, but I think you got to bring in a rock artist to set that place off. So that'll wrap it up for me. Let me know, do you actually think the NFL is scripted? Are the Chiefs the next dynasty? And who do you want to see play in a Super Bowl halftime show? Peace out, everyone.